It's one of the most cherished shows in American television history. A picture-perfect slice of small-town life that made millions of viewers feel at home. The Andy Griffith Show was funny, heartwarming, and filled with characters who seemed more like family than fictional roles. But while the town of Mayberry looked peaceful and kind, the real stories behind the camera were far from simple. Tensions, misunderstandings, and years-long conflicts quietly brewed between cast members, hidden behind the curtain of smiles and laughter. For all the joy it brought to fans, the real-life relationships behind the show were often complicated and messy, filled with pride, pain, and a few surprising moments of reconciliation that only came years later. The show premiered on October 3, 1960, and it was an instant hit. Audiences fell in love with Sheriff Andy Taylor, his curious little son Opie, the bumbling but lovable Deputy Barney Fife, and Aunt Bee, the strong and caring woman who kept the household running. For 8 seasons and 249 episodes, viewers tuned in to watch life unfold in the sleepy town of Mayberry. It was the kind of show people could watch with their families. It never dropped below 7th place in the ratings and actually ended its run as the most-watched show in the country. Only 2 other series, I Love Lucy and Seinfeld, had ever done that. But behind the charm of Mayberry, real tensions were playing out between the actors. The most talked-about conflict was between Andy Griffith himself and Frances Bavier, who played Aunt Bee. On screen, their relationship felt warm and natural. Off-screen, things were much colder. For years, the two barely spoke when the cameras weren't rolling, and the silence between them lingered long after the show had ended. Frances Bavier was known for being extremely private and particular. She liked her space, respected structure, and didn't enjoy small talk. Andy Griffith, on the other hand, had a more laid-back personality. He liked joking around with the crew and keeping things light. This difference in personalities made working together difficult. While Bavier was admired for her professionalism, others found her tough to approach. Howard Morris, who acted and directed episodes, once compared working with her to walking through a minefield, never knowing when something might set her off. Ron Howard, who played Opie, was just a child when the show began. Born in 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma, he came from a showbiz family. His dad, Rance Howard, was an actor and writer, and his mom, Jean, was also an actress. Acting was in his blood. By the time he was 5, he was already on TV shows and movies. He was a natural, and his performance as Opie won over the hearts of millions. Everyone saw him as the sweet little boy of Mayberry, but even at a young age, Ron was soaking up everything happening on set, learning lessons that would guide his future. During the show's run, Ron was tutored on set and also went to school in Burbank. Later, he enrolled in film school at the University of Southern California but didn't finish. He didn't need to. His career was already moving fast. After the Andy Griffith Show, he became a star again in the 1970s sitcom Happy Days. But Ron Howard didn't stop there. He had bigger goals. While still acting, he began directing, and his first major film, Grand Theft Auto, came out in 1977. He co-wrote it with his father and got help from legendary producer Roger Corman to get it made. That one project launched a whole new chapter in his life. Ron Howard quickly found his rhythm behind the camera. He directed Night Shift in 1982, followed by the hit movie Splash in 1984. From there, his directing career took off. Unlike many child stars, Ron didn't fade away. He adapted, grew, and earned respect in a completely new role in the industry. And through it all, he stayed grounded, never letting fame change who he was at his core. While Ron thrived, the tension between Frances Bavier and Andy Griffith continued to hang in the air. Their issues weren't about any single event but were built on years of differences. Griffith once tried to make peace after the show ended. He stopped by her house unexpectedly to talk, hoping to finally clear the air. But Bavier wasn't happy about the surprise visit. She valued her privacy too much, and the attempt at reconnection only made things worse. Still, time has a way of softening hard feelings. Near the end of her life, Bavier called Griffith. She was ill with cancer and wanted to make amends. In that phone call, she apologized for her behavior, admitted she had been difficult, and thanked him for everything he did for the show. Griffith accepted the apology, and the conversation left a mark on him. It didn't undo years of coldness, but it offered some peace and closure they both needed. Frances Bavier retired from acting in 1972. She moved to Siler City, North Carolina, where she lived quietly. Locals remembered her as reserved but kind. She stayed mostly to herself, but she was respectful to those who respected her space. In her final years, she dealt with heart problems and passed away in 1989 at the age of 86. Andy Griffith also lived a full life after the show ended. He continued acting and remained a beloved figure in entertainment. He passed away at the age of 86 as well, on Roanoke Island, North Carolina, a place he loved deeply. His family confirmed that he had been buried there privately, in the quiet way he had lived much of his personal life. And then there's Ron Howard. Still working, still respected, and still keeping things real. One of the most inspiring parts of his life has been his relationship with his wife, Cheryl. In a world where celebrity marriages often make headlines for falling apart, theirs has stood the test of time. The couple met as teenagers and never looked back. They recently celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary on June 7, 2025. Ron shared a photo of them on the beach at sunset. No fancy parties, no big announcement. Just the two of them, standing side by side. He described their relationship like a river with calm waters and strong rapids. Through it all they kept paddling. That kind of devotion is rare, and it says a lot about the man Ron Howard became after growing up in front of the world. Even today, the Andy Griffith Show continues to connect with people. Every year in Mount Airy, North Carolina, Andy's hometown and the real-life inspiration for Mayberry, fans gather to celebrate the show. They walk the streets, attend events, and remember a simpler time that the show represented. For many, it's more than just entertainment. It's a symbol of kindness, respect, and community. But what makes the story even more powerful is knowing that the perfect world on screen didn't always match real life. The show's legacy is richer because of the challenges its cast faced. The feud between Griffith and Bavier wasn't just a Hollywood spat. It was a real human conflict between two people who cared deeply about their work but couldn't always find common ground. And the way they found peace, even at the end, is a reminder that reconciliation is always possible. Ron Howard's life also adds depth to this story. He didn't just survive Hollywood. He shaped it. He went from child actor to one of the most respected directors in the world. His personal life, full of stability and love, is a quiet but powerful success story in its own right. The Andy Griffith Show wasn't just about funny moments or life lessons in a small-town setting. It was about people, real people, who brought their best and sometimes their worst to the set. What came out of it was a show that continues to make people smile generations later. But now, knowing what was happening when the cameras weren't rolling, those smiles come with a deeper appreciation for the people behind them. It's easy to look at Mayberry and see only the charm. But the truth is, even the most beautiful stories are built on hard work, conflict, and a little bit of pain. The actors behind the Andy Griffith Show were more than performers. They were complex individuals navigating the same struggles we all face. And maybe that's what made the show feel so real. Because behind the laughter and kindness, there was honesty. And in that honesty, we find something far more lasting than any scripted moment. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the real story behind the Andy Griffith Show, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more incredible behind-the-scenes stories, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What surprised you the most? We'd love to hear your take.